there's a really key differentiator to GU than a lot of other graduate programs, and that's the development of a whole person. And so the Jesuit education really instills this idea of being a citizen of business, an ethical person in business, and really encapsulating an entire thinking, rational, systematic person when you approach business-related topics. And that's something that, when I did my research, it was something I couldn't really find anywhere else. And I fell in love with in my undergrad, and I got even more of that experience from the Jesuit education in my graduate program. There are a couple of advantages of coming to GU. One is small class sizes. Beyond the knowing everybody in the classroom, all of the professors knew me by name. So small class sizes really help from the idea and the standpoint that a professor could call me out and ask me a question in class. I could engage with that professor, and we could actually have a dialogue back and forth. And in parallel with that, you can also do that with your fellow students. So in a small classroom size, you really get the opportunity to discuss ideas, challenge your peers, challenge your professor, and that's the best way to learn. I always found that the best way to learn is to ask you a question, you teach it back to me, I give you some more feedback, and you and I are both having this dialogue back and forth, but at the same time, increasing our knowledge base. So I think that's a really key attribute. Most classes you're going to find here are well under 30. Most of the trailer classes you're going to have like 10. I think I had one with 8. It was one of the best classes I'd ever had. It was a discussion, we'd have discussions every night about management, and literally the professor would kind of sit up here in a chair, lean back, and we as a group, as students, would talk about these things. We would have a broad diversity of people from the industry sector outside of GU and Spokane in the community. We have students coming out of undergrad like me, and the whole range of people talking about different topics, which I think is really beneficial and something to consider with this program. The other really key attribute of GU is a balance between theory, case, and thinking. And let me describe this in kind of an experiential way. A lot of graduate programs take the perspective of cases, which means you need to read about how other businesses do things, to experience things, and then when you go out in the real world, you can adapt what you've learned in kind of a quasi-experiential way to that particular topic. In addition to cases, which is classic, I mean, Harvard, Yale, it's just case, case, case. You'll read stacks of them, right? In addition to that, at GU, you get theory and you get thinking. The theory is learning business principles. So you learn the definitions, you learn the lingo, you go out and you'll understand what PE ratios are and all these variables and definitions around what business means and how to operate different things. In addition to that, you learn how to think. Because when you get out in the real world, a textbook and a case, so you're going to run into a situation where nothing lines up properly and you're not going to know how to attack a problem. But what this education teaches you how to do is how to think. So you can go step by step through a problem and you can solve it, and you can lead that problem solving, which is a big step, and that's something that coming out of education you really want to apply it. Well, I think that the professors and the people here teach students how to apply their knowledge elsewhere.